Oh, yeah. All right. That seems loud. That seems loud as fuck. Hello, 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 hello. Uh, 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 well, this is really interesting. I just muted the fucking thing, and it works. Bow, bow, bow. Boom, boom, boom. Down, down, down. Doo-ba-doo. Oh, yeah. More. Hey Victoria, we're gonna. I think we're just gonna wait till like 11:05. Wait for some other people to show up.
All
If you
right,
wanna,
that's cool.
yeah. All right. Maybe we're just a class of two today. Let me drink some coffee. Oh man, should we even wait? Should we wait? I don't know. Yeah. Why don't we give them another 5 minutes? See what's up.
Sounds good.
Then
I have a quick
yeah.
question.
Sure.
You said you were recording these Zoom meetings, right? So that you could post
Uh,
them.
yeah, yeah.
I was just wondering if you ever posted the like EQing and compression videos.
They're going to. I just started with my Audio One class, so I'm going to start today uploading stuff for you guys, and I should be able to link it. I think I'm just going to go back like week by week and link them to the
Okay.
YouTube thing. But yeah, I'm just like now figuring out exactly how to do all that.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I was just checking because I mean I'm working on my project, but I just wanted to go back and just see if there's anything else I could do with it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I'll end up posting that. Probably be able to get y'all's today. Um, I don't know how long today's class is going to go. Probably won't go crazy long because I want to give you guys enough time to finish projects and stuff. So when we meet Wednesday, it just will just be listening. That's part of the reason why I'm like waiting to see if more people show up.
Hmm.
Because it would be really lame to have a class and it's like two people show their projects and it's like, well, what did the other seven of y'all do? Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's just give it another 3 minutes then. See who else shows up.
Okay.
Daniel did. Um, oh. Hey Nathaniel, we're gonna start at 11:10. I want to wait for a couple other people to show up. So if you just want to hang out till then, that's fine.
The human body must also be tuned to them in order to.
All right. I guess it's 11:10. We'll go ahead and get started. See who shows up. Um, so, uh, first thing I kind of want to mention for this class, I'll just put that over here. So I figured out why Pro Tools kept like kind of ducking out whenever it's playing, and it has to do with it sharing Zoom. So whenever I play from Pro Tools, I'm gonna have to mute you guys here, so I'm not gonna be able to hear y'all. But if y'all want to use, I think that there's some like hand raise function or something like that. Um, if y'all want to use that, and I'll just keep checking over here if y'all have questions on anything. Because otherwise, whenever I was testing it earlier, every time I hit play and made a noise in the room, it turned it down. And I think that there's a way around that. It's just going to take me longer to figure out. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and mute you guys. If y'all want to do the hand raise thing over here, however that's done, or if I just see your microphone moving, I'll say something. Or if you want to pop something over here in chat, that will work also. But this way it works better for you guys. I kind of forgot what song we were working on, and then when I played it, I was like, oh yeah, yeah. So I'm just gonna play a little bit of it, and we'll mute and unmute what we've done so far. I guess I need my scroll thing. Yeah, let's just have a listen. And then if we mute the rest of everything. I mean, what's really crazy is the way that the kick tightens up. The kick just like, man, with the compressor, the kick just like pops out more. It's just way more round and thick sounding, which is kind of crazy because we don't have a compressor on it. I don't even think, yeah, we don't have a whole lot of anything on stuff. Mostly just compressors. A lot of my Pulsar. I think, yeah, what we had done a little bit of EQ um, to a few instruments, but overall, I mean, overall, just with compression, it sounds really good. Um, let's go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and put the main vocal in there. Let me hold on. I got what's this? Because today I kind of wanted to mostly finish up the song. Um, I also want to go over reverb use and talk about reverb for a little bit. There we go. We got our compressor thing back. All right. And that's kind of where the lead vocals really going to come in, because this song particular, the vocal just lends itself to not only compression, to a bunch of reverb. So let's just listen to the main vocal for a second.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober. Memories from the night before. I thought we said this was over, but you keep coming back for more. And I'm the only one that you call when you're lonely.
And like when you put the reverb in there, it definitely just does like this big hug thing to it, and then all of a sudden the vocal sits a lot better. If we have it muted, it just sounds real dry and kind of
I'm
boring.
lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober. Memories from the night before. I thought we said this was over.
So for compression, we're just going to leave compression alone right now. I really do want to kind of talk about reverb. The classic school of thought, and I'll pull some of this up just so we can see it. The classic school of thought is is reverb is either going to be realistic or it's going to end up being not realistic, completely fake sounding. So there were two companies, TC Electronic, was one of the main ones. They've kind of fallen by the wayside. But back in the day, whenever you would have the hardware boxes, 5,000. When you'd have the hardware boxes like these guys, there were only really two games in town. And the two games were TC Electronic and Lexicon. Oh, of course. What? I'll just put reverb. And that was because back in the day, there weren't really computer plugins for this stuff. So everything had to be done hardware, which is hilarious. For the low price of $5,500, you can get one Lexicon reverb. But the reason I bring this up is because these two companies dominated the reverb market for, God, I don't even, like 15, 20, 30 years, something like that. But they both had two very different philosophies, and the two very different philosophies is kind of how we got where we are today. So TC Electronic was known for their very real sounding reverbs. You know, if you wanted to imitate somebody being in a hallway, you know, you go with the TC Electronic because their reverbs are just much more tight and natural sounding. And then you have the opposite whenever it comes to Lexicon. Lexicon's reverbs were made to just be really over the top, and a common word to use that they use is ethereal. Like it doesn't sound natural. It doesn't sound like, you know, like natural reverb. It just sounds over the top and fake, and that's part of what made it cool. And both of those philosophies still come through us today. So you have either the real natural sounding reverbs, or you can have the unnatural sounding. And that's kind of what we need to pick. That's a good way to differentiate what kind of reverb are you looking for. Are you looking for something real sounding or something kind of fake? So on this vocal, if we went with something real, we'll just kind of we'll go with Phoenix Verb. This one, the company that made this, they're a split off from Lexicon, actually. But the Phoenix Verb is their kind of real sounding reverb. So I'm just going to solo it, the lead vocal. If we click on it, it has a lot of like the things that you'd expect to find: small, medium, large, room, plate reverbs, chambers, all of that. If we go to ADR and post, this is where things, you know, where they're trying to make things sound real. So why don't we just choose cooking kitchen, and listen and see what that kind of sounds like.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
Push it really hard.
Memories from the night before. I thought we said it.
Well, let's try another one. I don't want them all to be carpet crypt. This is probably a room with a bunch of carpet in it.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
So what we're hearing there is kind of the quick reflections coming back. I should have this downloaded somewhere. One of these. So whenever we're talking about reverb, it can kind of be broken up into a couple different, I guess, ways to describe it. Because reverb, when it comes off, it's a bunch of echoes off of walls, right? So I say something, it bounces off the wall on the far side, and it comes right back. And then I'll say something, and it bounces off this wall and that wall and like 8 different walls till it actually comes back and hits me in the ears. So that's like the classic way of describing reverb is we have the main signal over here, and this is going to be the initial signal. What's known as the discrete reflections. They're also called early reflections. And those are the ones that bounce off a couple walls and come back to you. And then we have the actual reverb tail here, which is all the reflections that bounce off of multiple surfaces before they come back. So when you think about rooms, specifically like a place, whenever we talk about natural reverb, natural sounding reverb, like we were messing with over here, a lot of it is just the initial discrete reflections because the room isn't big enough to sustain a large reverb time. So that's one way to look at it and kind of mess with it. Whereas if we're looking for kind of the non-realistic room ones, we're gonna worry a little less about the discrete reflections and more about along the reverb tail. So let's go through some of those. I'm just gonna unmute this or bypass that real quick. Let me see what reverbs we got for that. We'll do R2. So R2, this one was made specifically to be lexicon style, so not natural. And it kind of shows by the presets. If we go to, let's do large plate. It's one of my favorites. Large fatso plate, and listen to the difference.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
Large random plate 3.
Memories from the night before. I thought we said this was over.
Oh, that one
But you
sounds really
keep
good.
keep coming back for more.
Versus Phoenix, whereas Phoenix is supposed to be more of a natural one. So let me just go see if these are going to be the same style. So let's just do large rear plate. So this is
I'm
Phoenix
lying
verb.
on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
R2.
Memories from the night before. I thought we said this was over. But you keep coming back for more. And
there's a big difference between the two, and it may be hard for you guys to tell, but all of that lies in the early reflections. If we go back to the picture, whenever we play Phoenix verb, remember it's supposed to be more realistic, more TC electronic style. So when you play it, there's more of the initial reflections coming back. So there's more density to it. Whereas the other one, whereas R2 doesn't have as many of these discrete reflections. It's more concerned about the reverb tail. So whenever I'll play Phoenix verb and I'll switch back and forth, just like really listen to the initial playback whenever it plays, and then how the reverb is separated from the vocal. Because with Phoenix, it's less separated. It's harder to separate the two. Whereas R2 is the vocal and reverb are much more well separated. And these are both similar reverb styles, plate on Phoenix verb, plate on R2, both of those. So just listen for that, especially whenever the vocal sings. Listen to how the reverb affects the masking of the singing. And then I'll switch over. Whenever we go to R2, you'll notice it's just easier to hear, even with this much reverb on there.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober. Memories from the night before. I thought we said this was over.
I'll go back one more
But
time.
you keep coming back for more. And I'm the only one that you call when you're lonely.
The Phoenix verb definitely has more, like when the voice is singing and it's triggering the reverb. Phoenix verb definitely has more of like a brittle factor. It definitely like overhangs the vocal a little bit. It doesn't fit as well. I think I have some EQ before that. Yeah, a little bit of EQ. No big deal. So that's kind of, when you're thinking about adding reverb, figuring out whether you want it realistic or not realistic. And then you can kind of go from there and figure things out. I'm really liking the R2 preset. But it's not going to work for everything. And I know we have a few snares and stuff over here that have reverb on it. So we just affected those. Anyways, let's listen to let's listen to the beginnings of the song.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober. Memories from the night before. I thought we said this was over, but you keep coming back for more.
So there's nothing to say that you can't have both styles of reverb in there. What if we wanted to keep the vocal to have the big, lush reverb, and then kind of get something a little tighter on the drums? So with that, we could do Phoenix there, which is, the TC Electronic, more realistic style. Why don't we go with some sort of hall? We'll do medium hall. Why not? Neutral. Nobody likes neutral stuff. Rear hall. Let's try rear hall. So I'll mute the main vocal and we'll see how this affects the parts over here. Well, stuff has to play through that. Yeah, let's listen over here. Especially the claps. It sounds pretty cool. That's with the regular R2. Let's see what it sounds like with the Phoenix. Let me see what bus that's on, because I did not label my stuff. It's on no bus. So yeah, I'll just assign it to 5 and 6. I'll rename it Phoenix. I think that's how you spell it. I'm also the world's worst speller. So let's go back. We're just going to solo these parts. And instead of doing the regular reverb, we'll just send it to Phoenix. Same here. And whenever you change sends like this, it will keep your original send setting. So I don't need to go back and check that. But yeah, let's listen to how it sounds here. Do some claps. It's a little brighter sounding. Not that big a deal. And we're going to go over kind of reverbs. Going forward, we're going to be using reverb on most everything. So this is just kind of like the warm up to reverb. But when you guys actually go out, and especially if you're buying plugins or using plugins, reverbs, kind of find out what style they're going for. Are they going for Lexicon style, or are they going for TC Electronics? Lexicon is going to be completely fake sounding, whereas TC Electronics is going to be much more natural sounding. So if you figure that out, and most of the time they'll put it straight in the blurb whenever they're selling it to you. They'll say, Lexicon style or TC Electronic style. But we'll keep using reverb. It'll make a bit more sense on what to choose and where. But let's go back to the vocal and listen to that, because we got a bunch of stuff to fit in there. The beat sounds good. I'm fine with that. So right now we have, of course, our LA2A, because we're wanting to compress the vocal. leveler style, Veramu, optical, VCA. Um, right now we're going with the LA2A, which is optical, which is like classic female vocals. And it sounds good. I say we just kind of keep going with it. Maybe add some EQ. Let me pull up the EQ thingamabob so we can use that. Is this it? I think this is it. Yeah. So yeah, now we want to listen to the vocals and get that to kind of sit well.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober. Memories from the night before.
So just listening to it, it sounds a little muddy. I just wish that there was like some top end sparkle to that too. So those are kind of the two things that I'm hearing and feeling about it. So I definitely want to kind of get rid. Remember, I keep saying muddy and boxy's backwards on this thing. So I want to get rid of some of the mud, and I want to make it bright and airy. This is where we have a huge decision here. We have a compressor on it. So now the question is, do we want to put the EQ before or after the compressor? And this is one of those things that, to me, that there is a right way and a wrong way to do it. But to a lot of other people, you know, they'll always say you compress and then you EQ. You compress and you EQ. You compress and you EQ. And I hear that so much, I get at HCC that I get sick of it. That's you can do either one. Now, what I kind of found out was if you fix things before you compress it, everything just seems to react a little bit better. And that's kind of the way compressors work. If we pull up, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this. So if we think about, oh God, I wish I had two screens. Does this get smaller? No. Okay. I'm just gonna move this way over there. So if you think about it, I'm gonna solo the vocal and just play it.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober. Memories from the night before.
Hold on, let me see if I can
I
figure out
thought
how
we
to.
said this was over, but you keep coming back for more.
So if we
And
look at,
I'm the only one that you call when.
so what we're looking at here is we're looking at the frequency spectrum of the voice, right? And immediately I'm like, the low mids don't sound right, right? It sounds muddy. If we go over here, muddy, remember these are backwards. Muddy is around 250 hertz. If I look right here, 250 hertz is boosted like crazy. So getting back to this compressor that comes on, what do you think that the compressor is reacting to? The compressor is not reacting to anything below this. This is the loudest thing there. The mud is the loudest thing there. So the compressor is being triggered off of the muddiness that we don't like. So what's happening is it's turning the muddiness down and bringing everything up. So in reality, you're actually getting more mud because that's the first thing triggering the compressor. So for all the people that are like, you EQ after you compress, well, if I EQ after I compress, it's still getting compressed by this muddy region down here. So you're not doing yourself any sort of favor. All you're doing is making the mud louder and then trying to fix it after the fact. So that's kind of the argument between EQing before compression or after. Is, do you need to fix anything? If you need to fix something, do it before the compressor, because it's just going to make it louder. Because once it gets this threshold, it's going to turn it down, which turns everything up. So the low mud is going to be the dominant thing that you hear, and it's just going to be more of a pain. the compressor is going to react weird because it's not reacting off the vocal area up here. It's reacting off the muddy region. So the way I like to do things is I like to fix things before I compress things. Let me see if I can get this to stay up. So when you're EQing and compressing, especially with vocals, but with anything else, do you need to fix something first? Because if you need to fix something first, it's pointless to compress it and fix it afterwards. Fix it before, because then the compressor is going to react differently. So we're going to kind of running out of screen space. Oh, come on. I'll put you over here. At least here we can kind of see everything. I'll move that down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to EQ it before. I'm just going to use channel strip, just an easy EQ. And I'm going to play it, kind of watch the FFT over here, and then watch the compression, because I'm EQing before the compression. Let me rearrange some stuff. So just EQing this is going to make everything down the line react differently, because I'm fixing the problem versus patching it up afterwards. So we'll watch the FFT and I'll sweep around and you'll probably see it get exaggerated. And then we'll go from there.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
Let's wait, try to find it.
Memories from the night before.
And that's the bad sound. Whenever it just kind of resonates like that, that's what you normally don't want.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
May have taken a little much out, but
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
So now let's really look at the compressor over here, and I'll bypass it and we'll see how it changes. So let's do the second phrase.
Everything hurts when I'm sober.
So we're getting 4 decibels of gain reduction there.
Everything hurts when I'm sober.
At peak. So if I bypass it,
Everything hurts when I'm sober.
you see we get an extra dB of compression, and you can hear it clamp a lot more.
Everything hurts when I'm sober.
Especially on the when I'm sober.
Everything hurts when I'm sober.
So with the EQ in, fixing that beforehand,
Everything hurts when I'm sober.
whenever it gets to the loud part, the when I'm sober, you don't hear it kind of duck in on itself. It's much more controlled.
Everything hurts when I'm sober.
I wonder if I can get rid of. Can I reset that? Oh. But yeah, it's just kind of interesting that you can. There we go.
Everything hurts when I'm sober.
I can't How do I reset that? I want to reset it. I bet if I do this. Nope. So really identifying, if you have a problem in a source, fixing it before the compression will typically make the compressor, first off, react better. And it will just get you a cleaner signal down the line. So just playing it.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober. Memories from the night before.
Okay. So it's reacting much better. It's not clamping on the low mids, right? So now what I also said I wanted to do is I wanted to make it, oh God, I have so many things open. I wanted to make it airier and brighter, right? So now we have the choice again, is do I want to do that before the compressor or after the compressor? So if we do it before the compressor, we're going to do both. But if we do it before the compressor, it kind of sounds.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
So if we're looking at the gain reduction now on the second phrase, let's look at this.
Everything hurts when I'm sober.
It's kind of touching 5, almost touching 5. So we are getting more compression, and it's leaning towards the top end instead of the low mids. So if we, instead of doing it there, let's see what happens whenever we do it after the fact.
Everything hurts when I'm sober. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
It sounds clearer. It definitely does sound like a clearer boost. We hear more of the S, more of the sibilance on it. And that's kind of to be expected, because here, if we EQ it before, the compressor's reacting to that, whereas if we EQ it after, it's not reacting to it. So let's kind of listen to the difference here.
Everything hurts when I'm sober.
Now let's listen the other way.
Everything hurts when I'm sober.
So there's a little bit of difference there. There's not a whole lot of difference. Mainly doing it after the fact. First off, we're not messing with the way the compressor reacts, because she does get quite a bit louder, I believe, later. So doing it after, we're not messing with the compressor. We've already fixed the mud, compressed it, then enhanced what we want. And it just sounds clearer, more open. So that's something to be aware of. That's why I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I have the habit of putting things on the second insert instead of the first one. And it's literally for that reason. Do I want to EQ before I compress, or do I want to EQ after I compress? Because it makes a huge difference depending which way you do it. If you EQ before you compress, normally things come out cleaner as long as you're cutting. If you're boosting before, well, then you're going to make the compressor react weird. So typically you want to boost after. But that's why you'll see me put things on the second instead of the first, is because, I don't know, I may want to EQ that. So I'm good with that. Let's just go ahead and keep listening and going down the line, because we have more of this song.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober. Memories from the night before. I thought we said this was over, but you keep coming back for more. And I'm the only one that you call when you're lonely. I know you're headed for the door, yeah.
We'll skip to that. We'll go to the chorus real quick, because the chorus presents a whole nother world of problems. But let's listen, because the chorus is going to be 3 parts. These are like some effects and stuff. I guess we can put the effects in there. Hear what that sounds
Know
like.
that you need me.
So that's just like a little reverse reverb thingy. Let's go ahead and listen to the main parts of the chorus.
Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day.
Sounds kind of bright. And you can hear some of the room reverb. You can hear some like natural room reverb, which is what you do not want. You don't want that in recording. I didn't record this. I'm just mixed this. So let's listen to what it sounds like with the other parts in there also.
Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please, please stay.
Just listening to it, there's definitely a lot of high end. There's almost, it's, I guess, strident, strident, sibilant, harsh, biting. It's all of those things. So we need to address that, but we also need to address how we're going to go about processing this. Because we have a choice here. We can either do them individually, or we can group them together with an auxiliary track. And typically what you'll end up doing is you'll end up doing a little bit of both, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to make a stereo auxiliary track because I want to send these all to one auxiliary track so I can process them all together. So again, remember when you guys make your auxiliary tracks, practically the first thing you want to do is solo safe the auxiliary track, because otherwise, nothing will play through. So just control click, and we're just going to set it to whatever available bus, 7 and 8, and then we'll send these 3 out, 7 and 8. Oh, I say that. These 3 out. 7 and 8. Wrong quick key. So again, if you don't have the auxiliary solo saved and you solo stuff and you hit play, nothing happens. So when you solo save it,
I had you for the night, but I want you for the day.
okay. So this is where working with this is kind of a pain, because what we have is we have 3 parts that are the exact same part. There's no harmonies. So if you just listen to one of these tracks, you can be like, oh, that's kind of bright. It kind of hurts my ears. Well, once you start adding multiples of them, those bad things that you don't like are just going to stack, and they just keep getting worse and worse and worse the more of them you have. So you kind of have to deal with that, and you also have to give everything its own place, which can be challenging. Let's just say. So let's go ahead. What we'll do is we'll work on the first one, and then we'll work on the second 2, and then we'll kind of put them all together and just see what needs to be done. It's through the process of elimination between our EQ sheet and our compression sheet. You kind of figure that out. You can kind of figure which way to go. So let's just listen to the main vocal.
Please stay.
So right off the bat, we'll just do a channel strip, EQ. So right off the bat, it's harsh. It's harsh, strident, sibilant, somewhere around there. But it's also missing stuff. It's missing any sort of warmth, fat, thick, thump. It's missing all of that. It doesn't sound like a good, well-rounded recording. So we're going to do that. We'll fix the top, and then we'll try to figure out how we can make it, just more heft, bottom half of the frequency range. So, oh, come on. So let's fix the harsh part.
Please stay.
And I'll just sweep it around to
I
find
had
it.
you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please,
It's somewhere around there. That's just where we're going to start.
please,
See if we can make it a little thicker.
please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day.
And there's some other odd stuff going on with this. But let's just bypass this.
Please stay. I had you for the night.
There's like a weird room resonance or something going on. I'm just going to sweep around to see if I can find that. And this is one of those things where it's like, I hear it. I know there's something else wrong. And I know it's from that reverb in the room. But I'm just going to sweep around until I actually find something.
Please stay. I had you for the night.
Oh, God, did you hear it right there?
Please stay. I
Bypass.
had you for the night, but I want you for the day.
It's a lot easier to, I guess, listen to is kind of the best way I can describe it with the EQ in.
Please stay.
It's a little honky without it.
I had you for the night, but I want you for the day.
Okay, so we can do that. I'm going to go ahead and just mute this, and we're just going to listen to just the 2 that, kind of designate as backup vocals.
Please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day.
So when they're panned like that, left and right, if we kind of think about the sound stage, if we have the main one in the middle and we pan the other 2 off to the left and right, we're using more of the soundstage, so there's less overlapping frequencies in a specific area, whether that's in the middle of the mix or the left of the mix or the right of the mix. So panning stuff does kind of unmask things. So we'll pan it and listen to all three just by themselves.
Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please, please stay.
So there's still a little bit of that high-end harsh buildup. So I'm going to do it with everything already inserted right there. We'll go to channel strip again. We'll sweep around, see if we can find that.
Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day.
That's funny because it ended up being a honk. Did y'all hear?
Please, please stay.
Find it real quick.
I had you for the night.
How it kind of like it almost whistles and like jerks out and hits you in the face. That's the thing we don't want. So I'll just cut that. So let's listen to the other one also. That's the one that we did was pan left. So kind of listen to the one that's panned right now. Oh, that's not what I wanted.
Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day.
So if we look at all three of these EQs, you know, it's the same vocal. Well, why didn't you just copy and paste the same, you know, EQ setting to all of them? And it doesn't really, while yes, the two backgrounds are very close to where they are, if you just rubber stamp it like that and you're like, this is all the same vocal, it's all the same EQ, right? Well, not really, because they're taking up different spots in the soundstage, right? So this one on the left is our main lead vocal that's in the middle, and the other two are going to be panned. So you're not only EQing for the voice, you're also EQing for the position of where it is. Because if I just copied and pasted it, well, let's just see what happens if I copy and paste the first one.
Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day.
First off, you can notice if we just rubber stamp the EQ and we're just like, we'll just put this one on all of them. If you notice, it sounds just as harsh as whenever we started.
Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day.
It's okay. It's not just as harsh. It's a little bit cleaner, but it's still like it. You're not doing it any favors. Whereas if we switch around and listen to the other.
Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day.
It sounds smoother. It definitely does sound smoother. So anyways, moral of that story is EQ for the part. So let's listen to it with everything in, because I kind of like where the frequency sits right now.
Need me. Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please, please stay. 'Cause you're the only one who makes me feel this way.
So definitely, I like the way that sounds. Once again, on the reverb tip is, what are we going to do for reverb? Do we want it to match the original's giant reverb? Do we want to make it more realistic than the original, or than the verse parts? And I kind of argue against that. I'd say we want to leave it just as, big and lush sounding. So we get a choice here once again. Where do we put the reverb? Do we put it on the hook section, which I'm going to color coordinate all to the same color? Do we put it individually? Like this is, do we want to put it individually on each one? Let's listen to what that sounds like.
Please, please take it. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day.
So if we do it on each individual one, we can kind of customize the level. Do you want more reverb in the middle? Do you want more reverb on the panned ones? Do you want to pan it, but then have the reverb panned a different way? Or do we just want to put it on our group bus? Which I will do there. So if we do it there, we don't get to pick. It's whatever the mix is going into it is what gets sent to the reverb.
Please, please take it. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day.
So this is kind of one of those choices. There's no right way, wrong way to do this. So for right now, I say that there's no right way and wrong way. Depends who you're talking to. So right now we're gonna wait on that. I'm just gonna put it on the group right here. And the vocals, you know, we want the vocals to be held in place. So we're gonna want to put some sort of compressor on it, and we want to think of what we want to do with it. I am of the mind that we should make this more of like a leveling effect. We don't really, normally you don't want vocals to kind of pump and bounce. So we got a variable mu, optical, or VCA. Let's see what we got. Oh, I'm really kind of keen on maybe using another. Oh, do I have the tube tech? Oh, I do have that here, right? Right, yeah. So the tube tech, this compressor is an optical compressor, but what they ended up doing was putting attack and release times on it, which is not common for optical compressors. So there's quite a bit more control. So we can kind of get it to do the leveler thing, but we can also probably get it to move a little bit. Since we have dedicated attack and release controls. So this compressor is very much like every other compressor with the ratio, attack, release. And it does have some fixed and manual attack and release settings. We're going to skip that for right now. But let's kind of listen to it. I want to kind of glue things in place. So maybe a medium attack, medium to slow release, medium attack, medium to slow. Let's just kind of listen to where this goes. And since we're doing leveler style, 2 to 1 ish area, but let's listen.
Please, please take it. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day.
So it's definitely compressing. This thing is, it's not like the LA2A that's just like real slow and I'm just going to give you the warm hug. The tube techs can kind of do this bouncy thing. So when you're getting it in practically all compressors, when you're getting it, what you want to do is you want to set the amount of gain reduction, you know, anywhere from 1 to 5 decibels. And then we're going to play with the attack and release to get it to move in time with the song.
Please, please take it. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please, please take it. 'Cause you're the only one who makes me feel this way.
Yeah, so just kind of adjust to taste. I'll keep going.
Please, please take it. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please, please take it. 'Cause you're the only one who makes me feel this way.
So there for right now, that's perfectly fine with me. But now, okay, so we've taken all 3 of the hook vocals, EQ'd each one, sent them through a compressor. So now let's start thinking about them as a whole. what do we want to do as the group? Because we kind of went through the individual ones, fixed each individual one. Now we need to think of it as a group, right? So what's going on with it? Let's listen again.
Please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please stay. 'Cause you're the only one who makes me feel this way.
Honestly, there's not a whole lot bad with that hook. So maybe we could just kind of enhance it a little bit. And I kind of want to make it a little bit more warm and fat. Honestly, the presence may be a bit much, but let's just put on. Oh, let's try something new. I say something new. Let's try this 2098 EQ. Because I'm not fixing things, I can kind of go with something that's a little bit more broad, right? And notice I'm doing it after the compressor. So let's just kind of listen to this. This is skip everything below, from here and below. It's just kind of a normal EQ. It just looks crazy with extra things. So I want to add warmth and fatness. So anywhere from 500 hertz and below. And let's just kind of do that and listen.
Please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please stay. 'Cause you're the only one.
Okay, I like that. I can hear like a little bit of harshness in there that I want to get rid of. And this EQ may not be the one to do it, just because I don't know how tight it can get, but let's try it. I'm going to turn the Q as small as possible over here. And it's somewhere, it's something harsh or biting or something. I'll boost it, sweep it around, and then we'll try and cut it.
Please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please.
Okay, so I stopped at the 4.5 because the 4.5K sounded really good for boosting that. So, man, I don't want to, because it added so much presence to it.
Please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day.
But there's still something in there that I don't like, right? But I do like the accidental boost at 4.5. It sounded great. Was this attack? It definitely brings it forward. So, what do we do here? I can't. I've already used the two mid bands. So I'm just gonna put a channel strip after that. Find out what I don't like, and take it out. And I know it's something in the 1 to 3K range.
Please stay.
That's it right there.
Please stay. I had you for the night.
And then this is where you will start getting really picky, right? Because vocals are one of those things where, especially nowadays, back in the day, you could get away with vocals just being like, oh, they sound good. But these days, it's like when you hear songs that have vocals, the vocals are pristine. Like there's nothing that you can really pick out that would be wrong with it. So we're kind of stuck in that world today. So what I'm hearing is I'm hearing some sort of extra mud go on. I don't know what the mud is or where the mud is from. But it's in there somewhere. So I'll hit play and we'll kind of sweep around till we find it.
Please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please.
You can hear it kind of whistle right there. So it's something right in that range.
Please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please stay. 'Cause you're
Okay, and now it seems like there's something up at the top that's kind of annoying me too. Some like I can hear lip smacks, and those lip smacks are going to get the axe here soon. But let's see if we can find. I just know that there's something in the high frequencies annoying me.
Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please, please stay.
All right. So what I'll do now is we're just going to bypass everything, just so we can hear the difference.
Please, please stay.
Let me move these to the second one. Sorry.
Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please, please stay. 'Cause you're the only one who makes me feel this way.
So all that processing, all that really did was soften. It softened the vocals. We fixed the parts that we didn't like and kind of coalesced them together to where they all kind of move the same way. I'm also not 100% sold on this tube tech. I can hear it kind of bounce a little bit, but we may visit that here in a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and save it. Switch back so I can hear you guys. Do y'all want to take like a 10-minute break? We'll come back at 12:17. Yep. Cool. All right. Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a 10-minute break. We'll come back at 12:17. So I'll see you guys then.
Cool.
All right. 12:17. Back at it. Yeah. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and stop. Um, hit the mute thing. So if you guys have a question or something, either do the little hand raise or type it over here, and I'll look and unmute you real quick, and we can do that. So we're back to working on the verse or chorus. And I'd said that there's a lot of like lip smacking and stuff. So if we solo everything,
Please, please stay.
you can hear it, especially right there. Um, so the typical way you'll see a lot of people do it is you'll see them come in here and delete stuff and delete, which you can do that. Pro Tools does have this thing. If we select this and go to event, not event, edit. If you go to strip silence is pretty nifty. It's almost like a hardware gate for things. And what I mean by that is you have a threshold and then you have some durations. So as I move this up, you'll see little lines start appearing. And what this is this is where Pro Tools will start editing stuff. So the nifty thing, like if I liked it like this and I hit strip, it's going to take away everything. So if we solo and listen,
Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day.
so if you set it right, it can take out everything. Sometimes it can cut it off too much, so you can do like the end pad. You can kind of move that a little bit, similar. If I move that all the way back, because I want to get this little piece right here, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Oh, look at that. Hit strip, bang, hit strip, bang. And what do you know? We just edited all of that. And again, that's just edit. Edit strip silence. So now I'm listening back.
Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please, please stay.
Okay. So now that we have these grouped together like this, there's other things that we can do. Like if we wanted to, insert an effect on here, um, we could do something that would be like spatial wise. So if we open up like a imager style plugin, we can select from there, which is kind of common for choruses and stuff. So let's just play it and we'll switch around a few till we find which sits well.
Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please, please stay. 'Cause you're the only one who makes me feel this way.
And that sounds kind of cool.
Please, please stay.
It's pretty subtle. That it just kind of adds a little bit to it. You could experiment with other stuff because right now we've processed it to where we like the EQ. We've processed it, processed it to where now we like the groups. So if you want to add something to add spaciousness or effect or similar, you can do that. Like we could even do kind of like a chorus along with it. I like Echo Boy for choruses. So if we come over here, just kind of pick, and we'll go through more of this as we go. We can blend everything together.
Please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please, please stay. 'Cause you're the only one who makes me feel this way.
Okay, I'm cool with that. But yeah, that's just to say, like after you got everything fixed, there's no reason why you have to stop there. You could add choruses to it. You could add all sorts of things to it. So I kind of like the way that sits now. So let's listen. Let's go ahead and plug in the rest of everything, just so we can get everything in there. This is like a bridge part or something.
Are we forever gonna be never forever? Keep playing tired games that we both choose.
Um, so here we do have a choice, right? The bridge, the bridge is basically the same thing as the verse, right? It's just a little different play in it. So depending how your bridge is, if it's quite if there's like key changes and the whole song changes, well then maybe you want to process the bridge by itself. But whereas this is just almost like a continuation of the song. It's just like a sidestep story. Um, so I could move this up here, or I could just try copying everything because it's the same recording, um, and we're not stacking it. So for now, I'm just going to try copying everything down and we'll see how that sounds. And then kind of if that needs to be kind of customized.
Are we forever gonna be never forever?
That sounds fine. It sounds okay. To save time, we'll also kind of do well. Okay, so now we have another question, right? We have these backup vocals too now. So what we can do if we're thinking about this is like, okay, do we want to make custom background voice stuff, or do we want to maybe try and pipe it in here to our chorus bus? Let's see what happens because it's on bus 7 and 8. So if I just send these out 7 and 8, it'll show up here.
Are we forever gonna be?
And this is something that's supposed to be panned.
Are we forever gonna be never forever? Keep playing tired games that we both choose.
It kind of works. I don't know if it's actually working well. Let's see what it's doing to the compressor right here.
Are we forever gonna be never?
So it definitely pokes out. And it's fine. I think sending it through here is perfectly fine. That just gives you a little bit of this compression and processing and stuff. So I'm going to move that up there just so now everything is kind of grouped together. These 5 tracks go to this auxiliary send. The bridge part, I'm going to go ahead and move up by the main vocal. Just this just makes so much more sense to me. Now, one thing with these backgrounds is they don't stick out the way I want them to. They're kind of lost in everything. So let's EQ it. I definitely want to bring out, where's my thing? I want to bring out, definition, attack, bright. I can't really tell if there's anything bad going on. So I'll start with the first one right here. Make sure, yeah. And then as it plays, I'll EQ. I just know that it's going to be somewhere 1K up to like 10K. So let's see what happens.
We forever gonna be never. We forever gonna.
Okay, I kind of like that. This other background is literally the same thing. I do think that maybe they need to come down in volume or similar. Let's see. Let's go ahead and bring this one down too.
We forever gonna be never forever. Keep playing tired games that we both choose.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. All right. So let's figure out what else is going on. I have no idea what this is. Let's see what this is.
please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day.
Okay, so that's kind of interesting. This is actually the chorus part. Not sure why it's on something else. So I'll move it down to where the chorus is, and let's listen to that.
Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please, please stay.
Okay, yeah, we'll just go with it. So we've we have we've run everything from left to right. Let's go. Let's see what these things are. I don't know if these are effects or okay. There's some sort of effects. Let's see what these are. Verse filler. I have a feeling that sound's not going to make the cut. Oh, this one is. Oh, you know what? We're just going to mute both of those for right now. For right now. So, so we've gotten everything EQ'd and compressed kind of the way we want. There's definitely some volume problems going on, like that acoustic guitar sounds way too loud. So this is going to be kind of the second pass through the song, right? So we make the first pass where we get levels right, set compression, do some EQ stuff, get everything kind of sitting where they want to be. So then now we'll just take that and run it all again. So we'll start comparing things to other things. But yeah, let's just go ahead and run through that. Well, people's songs don't start on time.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober. Memories from the night before.
All right, so if we're going to talk about fixing things as we go, the first thing that needs to be fixed is there's a lot of S's, like the sibilance is hard. So sibilance. Now there's a couple ways to go about doing this. You can either EQ stuff, which normally doesn't work, or you can use specialized processors called de-essers. And it's kind of what you think. It removes the S's. um, but what a de-esser actually is it's a frequency dependent style of compression. The most famous one is the SPL de-esser. These have been around forever. Um, so what's actually going on here? Oh, where's my thing? Nobody really even knows how to spell de-esser. So what's going on? Oh, I guess I could use that. Oh, instead of pictures, we'll do. Let's see if I got the waves one. Yeah. Okay. So how a de-esser works is it splits the audio, right? Remember in compression, the first thing that comes in is it comes in and it splits the audio left and right. Left and right. I'm sorry. It splits the audio for the side chain plus the main one. Well, the side chain tells the compressor what to react to. So with a de-esser, what you do is you tell the compressor, don't react to anything except for this sound. Remember, we kind of ran across it with the LA2A where it was hitting the low mud and that was causing the compressor to trigger. So this way we're doing it on purpose. We're removing everything except for what we want the compressor to trigger. So if we solo the side chain, we can hear what's going on there. So let me move it up. So this is what's actually triggering the compressor. And you can hear it right there, especially when you get that hard S. So that's what we want to kill. And that's what we want to tell the compressor to kill. So in the side chain, all we leave is that, because that's all the compressor is listening to. So if we monitor the audio again and I bring the threshold down, you should see whenever those hard S's hit that it compresses and it leaves the rest alone.
Everything hurts when I'm sober.
So bring it down.
Everything hurts when I'm sober.
So you can see it giving the reduction just right there.
Everything hurts when I'm sober.
And that's a massive difference if I bypass it.
Everything hurts when I'm sober.
That S, that hard S.
Everything hurts when I'm sober.
Man, especially the second one. It does the second one well. So you can manipulate the sidechain to do frequency dependent stuff. Which, you know, we'll keep as we keep working on stuff, we'll come across this more and more where we need to target one specific thing. And manipulating the sidechain is, you know, a very common way to do it. So with the de-esser, now the vocal sounds way better, so we can keep listening.
Everything hurts when I'm sober. Memories from the night before. I thought we said this was over, but you keep coming back for more. And I'm the only one.
So we had a couple new instruments come in. One is like the clack clack drum, whatever this drum delay thing is. So let's listen to these and see what's actually going on. Okay, well the delay thing's kind of lame.
Keep coming.
So this is kind of a completely new piece of sound that came in right there. It sounds like it's kind of buried, so I'm probably going to bring that up some.
But you keep coming back for more.
And once again, it sounds, just listening to this, compared to everything else sounds super lush and big. And then you have this click come in, and it's a little too dry. It stands out. It doesn't fit.
But you keep coming back for more.
It doesn't fit into the space that we've kind of made with all the reverbs and stuff. So I want to send that to one of the reverbs. Remember, the R2 reverb is our lexicon style, where it's just real ethereal, does not sound real at all. Or Phoenix, which Phoenix is a little bit more lifelike. I'm gonna say let's try the one that doesn't sound natural.
But you keep coming back for more. And I'm the only one that you call when you're lonely. I know you're headed for the door, yeah.
So just enough to where it kind of fits, because whenever it was cranked a little much, I could hear the reverb tail and just didn't sit quite right. Let's listen to that again.
But you keep coming back for more.
It is a little bright, right? And it kind of stands out too much. So we could EQ that if we want to. Here's a crazy thought. We could also try using a de-esser just to get the frequencies that we want, because it's only kind of the bright ones, right? And this did a great job on the vocal of killing the S. Why don't we just try it here, experimenting? So if I solo it and we listen to the side chain, just like we did with the vocal, we want to find that frequency that's annoying us. Not quite. Not quite. All right, so that's at 2K. So let's see. Definitely, you can hear it like kind of push it to the back. Ah.
I'm the only one that you call when you're lonely. I know you're headed for the door, yeah. But you don't wanna leave me.
Seems like, you know, bringing it down like that, it definitely like took some of the high end away, which I like. That was kind of the point of this. But if you notice, it also kind of pushed it back into the mix. It didn't, whereas whenever it's bright, it's really forward and in your face. So if we take out some of the high end, it naturally pushes it towards the back of a mix.
Keep coming back for more. And I'm the only one that you call when you're lonely.
It's kind of interesting. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it. So let's just keep listening.
Keep coming back for more. And I'm the only one that you call when you're lonely. I know you're headed for the door, yeah. But you don't wanna leave me. Why would you leave me when I know that you need me? Please stay. I had you for the night.
Okay. So now that the chorus came in, it sounds good with just the verse because nothing really sticks out. Like everything kind of seems like it has its spot. And then when the chorus comes in, which happens right here, we start, there's quite a bit more instruments that come in. It looks like this piano atmosphere, whatever this synth thing is, whatever this pad thing is. The thing that's really standing out to me is it almost sounds like the acoustics are standing out to me. Let's listen.
I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please.
Yeah, the acoustics kind of stick out. I can hear the acoustics and everything. So if we're thinking about the actual acoustic parts, like what's going on right there, there's a little bit. There is some melodic information, which is going to be the chords, but a lot of it is the actual strumming of the strings, and I think that's what needs to stick out, not so much the melody. So why don't we just try messing volume wise with it and see if we can get it to sit fine like that.
Need me. Please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please stay. 'Cause you're the only one who makes me feel.
Yeah, definitely bringing it down kind of made more space for everything, but now it feels like we're missing some instrumentation. Like this synth right here kind of sounds like it's carrying kind of the hook. So I'll play it with it muted out, and let's see how big of a hole is left. Yeah.
Please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please stay.
Which is funny because when you mute it, the vocals sound great, and then you bring it in, and it kind of overwhelms the vocals a little bit. So we need to fix something there. For this, I'm just going to use channel strip. But we need to think about like what is covering up what here, because we need to figure out which one to fix. Do we fix the pads or do we fix the vocals? So we'll solo the pad and the vocals so we can kind of listen to what's going on.
Please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please stay.
So it's definitely overwhelming the vocals. Where that is, just listening to the pads by themselves, you can hear that there's a lot of like low mids. They don't sound bad on their own, but once you stack the vocals on there, it starts, kind of blocking the fundamental tone of the vocals. and that's going to be a lower frequency. So why don't we try to just kind of sweep that around? I'm going to solo it and we'll sweep it around. So there's quite a big like hum there. So let's try cutting that. And let's see how the vocals sit now.
Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please, please stay.
Okay, so that definitely helped. One thing that we can do, because this does kind of, lead the chorus, is now that we fixed that, the conflict with the vocals, maybe we can turn it up a little bit more.
Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please, please stay.
That works. It definitely does. So since we fixed the problem spot that was overlapping with the vocals, you can actually turn it up more. Which I am like the biggest fan of pushing things as far as they'll go, and then back off a little bit, especially with effects and stuff like that. So if I can get things louder, I will. If I need to fix it with EQ and then get it louder, I will. It's just kind of the way I like doing things. But I almost feel like there could be some more presence brought out in it. So presence, definition, attack, bright. So everything over 1K is fair game. So I'll sweep it around, see if we can find something we really like.
Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please, please stay. 'Cause you're the only one who makes me feel this way.
That sounds cool. It sounds way better. So I'm down with that. We'll keep listening. Something else comes in over here.
You're the only one who makes me feel this way. I'm lying in my bed. Everything hurts when it.
So something definitely changes over here because the voice, it doesn't sound nearly as loud. Let me move that back. It doesn't sound nearly as loud as the verses and stuff.
Said this was over. Lying in my bed.
So something has changed here because we didn't change the vocal at all. We like the way the vocal sits for the first chorus or first verse. So coming around to the second verse, we still like the way the vocal sounds, but something else is blocking it at this point. So let's look and listen. I think there's like another guitar part or something that came in.
I'm lying.
Is that what? I think that's probably going to be the problem right there. Because if we listen to the verse, oh gosh, if we listen to the first acoustic guitar,
Had you for the night.
it's more holding the rhythm. It's not driving the song. Whereas this one sounds like it's trying to drive it, so it's probably quite a bit louder.
I'm lying in my bed.
So there's basically two new things that come in: this motif trial and this acoustic guitar. So one way to kind of figure out if you don't know like what the problem is. I know that the problem happens here, and there's two new things that come in. So if I hit play and mute these new things, I can kind of figure out which one is the problem. Because it's either going to be guitar or the motif, because everything else has stayed the same. So we'll play it and I'll mute it, and we'll see.
Your words repeating in my head. my composure.
So it's a little bit of both. We can hear a little bit of both. With the guitar, it's more rhythmic, but with the motif, it definitely takes up a lot of room from the vocals.
Your words repeating in my head.
So we know for a fact it's both of those. So the guitar, I already have the fader pulled up. I'm just going to bring that down.
Your words repeating in my head. I can't keep my composure.
Okay, so that helps. Now if I mute the motif, it'll probably make an even bigger difference.
Your words repeating in my head. I can't keep my composure.
So once again, you know, since we're having problems with the actual vocal part, it's going to be in relation to the two. So with EQing, there's fixing, enhancing, and making room. So we're in the making room portion. So we need to think, what are we making room with this against? Is the main vocal, right? So now we have to figure out what's the problem frequency that we're having. I know that it's more for the fundamental of the vocal, which is going to be kind of in the low mids, the warmth, fat, thick area, because we want the vocal to be warm, fat, thick, all of that. But not everything could be warm, fat, and thick. Otherwise, it doesn't fit. So I know for a fact I need to remove something of this with the little motif thing. So it's going to be somewhere from 500 to 125.
I'm lying in my bed. Everything hurts when it's over. Your words repeating in my head. I can't keep my composure.
So that definitely made way for the vocal. Move some stuff out of the way. It still seems like it's getting lost.
I'm lying in my bed. Everything hurts when it's over.
So now that I kind of fixed the problem frequency, maybe this part's just too loud because it doesn't have the big presence that it does in the first verse. So maybe I do have that too loud.
Everything hurts when it's over. Your words repeating in my head. I can't keep my composure. So why you wanna fight like this? No, we're
there is one other thing that comes in. Where is that? That doesn't come in until later.
like this.
Interesting other parts coming in.
So
Y'all didn't even hear that part. It does sound better. So let's just keep going. We'll just keep going.
I can't keep my composure. So why you wanna fight like this? We both know we're addicted to each other. So what you waiting for? Yeah, I know you wanna come over.
Okay, so this right here definitely does the same thing as this motif thing. It just takes up too much space. And I can hear it come in.
So why you wanna fight like this? We both know we're
So we have a couple choices. We can either just turn this down. We could maybe EQ it so it fits a little bit better, or we could do some sort of sidechain manipulation. Um, let's listen again.
So why you wanna fight like this? We both know we're addicted to each other.
So why don't we try this? Why don't, instead of EQing it, instead of turning the volume down on it, why don't we have it to where when the vocal comes in, it turns this down, and it won't affect it any other part. So this is going to be once again kind of manipulating the sidechain in it, right? Because what we want to happen, let me bring this up so it makes more sense. So what we want to happen is whenever the voice comes in, this part, I want it to turn down this part, right? So in order to do that, a few things need to happen. First off, we need to have some sort of compressor in there that is able to listen to external triggers. So let's see what we got for that. I normally will end up using our compressor just because it's easy to kind of manipulate. So if you notice here, I don't think not every compressor has this. Everyone I pull up has it. But if we look at it, you get this thing and it's called key input. And what this is for sidechaining things. This is to make it react to something else besides itself, right? It's kind of like what the de-esser did. The de-esser said, oh, you're going to only listen to, or you're only going to react to frequencies above this. Well, with the trigger, it's going to say you're only going to react to what is being sent to you, right? So interface would be, our audio interface. So we want to use the busing. So we'll do bus 9. So if I just leave it like this and hit play, nothing's going to happen.
So why you wanna fight like this? When we both
Do we have something on bus 9? Let's pick a different bus. Let's pick bus 19.
So why you wanna fight like this? When we both know we're addicted to each other.
So as soon as I send something out of this bus, if I pick bus 19 and turn it up all the way.
So why you wanna fight like this? When we both know we're addicted to.
So now you can see that when the voice comes in, it starts compressing. Not whenever it's just by itself.
So why you wanna fight like this? When we both know we're addicted to.
So what it's doing now is it's when the voice comes in, it's sending it out our little extra bus here, because busing is just for routing stuff around. And I'm telling this compressor, hey, listen to this particular bus and react off of that. So if I solo the two, you'll be able to hear it better.
So why you wanna fight like this? When we both know we're addicted to each other.
You can hear it kind of come up. Let me see if I can really get it to react like crazy.
So why you wanna fight like this? When we both know we're addicted to each other.
See, you can really hear when the vocal comes in, it just totally destroys destroys the pad part and makes a ton of room. Like, it makes so much room. The problem with this is it's not set musically timed. It's just reacting like crazy. So let's go ahead and we'll adjust the release and attack just kind of by ear, so it turns it down. I do want kind of a stiff ratio because I want it to turn it down quite a bit. I want it to make room for the vocal, like make lots of room for the vocal. So let's see.
So why you wanna fight like this? When we both know we're addicted to each other. So what you waiting for?
Yeah, that seems. So what happens is the vocal comes in, I can see it compress, and then the vocal stops and it comes back up and it hits 0 just as she comes in again, and it moves again. So at least we know that this is timed to her phrases. Whether this is actually timed to the beat or not, it kind of doesn't matter, because we're just comparing this to her vocal. So let's see what it sounds like now with everything.
So why you wanna fight like this? When we both know we're addicted to each other. So what you waiting for?
It definitely works. I can hear it compress a little too much at the beginning, so I'll kind of back off that. And it doesn't seem to be. It seems to be going up too slow. It just sounds a little weird. So I'll maybe, instead of messing with the release, because I like the way the release is timed, I'm just going to move up the threshold some.
So why you wanna fight like this? When we both know we're addicted to each other. So oh, yeah, I know you wanna come over.
It sounds cool. I like it. It's still slightly loud, but whatever. We'll just keep going for this reason.
You know this ain't over. Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please, please stay. 'Cause you're the only one who makes me feel safe. Are we forever gonna be never? Forever. Keep playing tired games that we both choose to lose. We both choose to lose. Yeah, I choose you.
Something had a buzz. I could hear like a meh.
I choose you.
Oh, that's funny. It's the vocals. Y'all, I don't know if you guys heard that or not. So again, we could edit that out. I'm going to use strip silence, which is edit strip silence. Honestly, it looks okay. Now over here, you can see it kind of cut some stuff off.
Yeah, I choose.
So if I actually just strip this, it may sound weird.
Yeah, I choose.
Yeah, achoo. So it makes it kind of difficult for some of this stuff. This is where the start and end pad come into play, so I can just kind of make the end a little bit longer, but I don't want to lose that. I don't know what this is.
You.
Yeah, so let's check this out. What if I bring it up, bring it down, bring it down? Somewhere around there. We'll just do that and listen to it.
Are we forever gonna be never? Forever.
So we can see it cut off too much right there.
Forever. Keep playing tired games that we both choose to
Cut off some right there. So, this isn't always the most accurate, but it can save you some time.
that we both choose to lose. We lose. We both choose to lose. Yeah,
I think it said Lou. I don't think it said lose. I think it said Lou.
lose. Yeah, I choose you.
Yeah, achoo.
Yeah, I choose you.
Okay, so that's one of the spots where strip silence just totally did not work. But we got the buzz out of there. So let's do it again.
You're the only one
part. I'm not the biggest fan of that ending. It's sounding pretty good. There's still a bunch more stuff that we can do. I don't know how far we'll take that. Let's go ahead and do the second break. And we'll come back at 1:13 and kind of wrap some stuff up. I want to try adding some delays and kind of showing y'all some stuff there effects wise. But anyways, yeah, let's meet up at 1:13. So 10 minutes. Okay. So we'll, I guess, come back to it, come back at it. Um, so one of the things that, like, I guess I kind of talked about, um, I didn't really, I guess, show y'all what I mean, was pushing things loud enough to where you can, kind of hear them and feel them. And what I mean by that is a lot of times I either mean audio tracks or I mean effects. And it's kind of easier to show what I mean by effects. And this is just something that I personally kind of subscribe to. Other people, everybody has their own kind of way of doing things. This is one thing that I really like doing. So if we listen to just the plain vocal here,
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
so one of the main sounds to kind of add room and depth that you hear is delays a lot, right? So let's go ahead. I'm gonna set up a delay on an auxiliary send. So I'll set it up for bus 13, 14, and I'll just rename that delay real quick. Bang, delay. So I want to send the main vocal out to the delay and go ahead and add. I'm just going to use the H delay because it's boring and it's perfectly boring for what I want to do. So it should be. I think the song is at 120 BPM. Let's just kind of listen.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
Okay, maybe we'll do half note because I think it's a little different.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober. Memories.
So if I play it with the track, we're gonna hear it all together.
I'm lying on the floor.
So here's the problem: is I want the delay. I want the delay. The problem is her voice as she's singing, the delay kicks in.
I'm lying on the floor.
So the typical way you'll hear of people kind of fixing this, air quotes, y'all can't see that, but this is air quotes. Fixing it would be to turn down the delay, right?
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
But that's the annoying thing is I want the delay, but I don't want it to step on the vocals. So how can we fix that? And kind of have it do it all automatically so I don't have to sit here and automate every single delay send to have it delay. Well, we can use the same kind of triggering thing. Remember, we have bus 19 going to, I moved it back, going to that one little synth part over here. So it turns down.
So why you wanna fight like this? When we both know it.
So we already have it set up. We just need to do a similar thing here where I'll go ahead and do the same compressor, the R compressor. MNOR. And we already have it sent out to bus 19, so I'll just do the input as bus 19, and it's connected.
So why you wanna fight? Let
me go ahead and get back to the beginning. See, that's so annoying. But we'll do it at the beginning. Oh.
I'm lying on the floor.
So what we wanted to do is I'm already sending the sidechain to it. So I'm telling the compressor on the delay to react. So what I want it to do is when she sings, I want it to compress and turn everything down. And when she stops singing, I want it to let go. So then I hear the delay. I want to hear the delay after she's done singing. So I'll just go ahead and hit play.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
Now the delay is a little off. It's supposed to be a whole.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
So that's kind of the effect that I want. I want her to sing and then for it to come in. Maybe it is half. Maybe it's just less feedback. Um, but let's see how far we can push this with the delay or with the sorry with the or the God with the compressor in the sidechain. Let's see what we can really kind of if how much we can push it until we hear it.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober. Memories from the night before. I thought we said this was over, but you keep coming back for more. And I'm the only one that you call when you're lonely. I know you're headed for the door. Yeah.
You can hear it kind of act a little weird right there. I wonder if is the BPM 120. Let's find out.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
Okay, it's not 120. So let's do it
I'm
again.
lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober. Memories from the night before.
Okay, that's way better on timing.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
So if I bypass the compressor, you'll be able to hear how much it stands out.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
Versus on.
Memories from the night before. I thought we said this was over.
So, you know, we basically were pushing the delay as hard as it can go, which I like. That's what I want. But I also want it to fit in a little bit better. So we've already done the compressor sidechain to the vocal. So when she sings, it compresses, and when she stops, it blooms out. But if I want to hide the delay even more, I could go in and now I could EQ it. So I'll EQ it at the beginning because I want to fix this before it hits the delay. And so going back to the Fletcher Munson curve, I know 1K to like 3K is the region that stuff sticks out. So let's just listen.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober. Memories from the night before.
Okay, so it sits even better now. Now, what if I want it to sit even more? What do you do? Like, it still kind of stands out to me. And part of what's going on, I know it's this little lo-fi button. Let's listen to what it sounds like with that.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
So the lo-fi button basically takes a bunch of top end out. I thought that's what it was, and it doesn't seem to be doing it. I do like the brightness of it. So we'll keep there. But what else can we do to this thing to kind of blend it into the background more? So once we start talking spatial wise, you know, we start thinking reverbs, right? So what if I inserted a reverb on here? Let's do, I want something that's over the top. So I'm going to pick something, you know, Lexicon style, which the R2 is made like that. And then something even crazier. How about like a gigantic, just gigantic reverb? But this time I don't want it all reverb. I'm probably just going to mix in some of the reverb. So let's see what that sounds like.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
So that really pushes it. That really pushes it back into the mix more. And it sounds cool.
I'm lying on the floor.
And without it,
Everything hurts when I'm sober.
man,
Memories from the night before.
it sounds really cool. Definitely fits it into the space better. But we don't have to stop right there. You can keep going and designing these things. So I'm gonna do. I'm a fan of imagers and stuff. Isotope has one that's pretty good. I think I have some presets. No. And I'm just gonna try making that part just extremely over the top wide and big.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober. Memories from the night before.
Maybe a little too big. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play it, and we're going to listen to the impact that the reverb has on this delay. Because whenever it's completely dry and there's no reverb, the delay sounds much more in your face, carbon copy. Whereas if you put the reverb on it, it kind of pushes it back. So I'm going to do that with the mix knob as it goes along, and it should continuously press the delays further and further back into the mix.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober. Memories from the night before. I thought we said this was over.
So a full mix that's a little too much. It does sound cool, like 60 whatever % of the mix, because it makes it kind of really sit in the back.
I'm lying on the floor.
It's a little much. I want to hear more of the direct, so if I pull it down a little more.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
Sounds cool. And it adds that extra I don't, cause the way she sings is she sings for a phrase and then stops for a phrase, sings for a phrase, stops for a phrase. So without that, it sounds like this.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
Versus
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober. Memories from the night before.
versus our just regular old plain Jane delay. If we were just like, I'm just gonna put a delay on it, this is what it sounds like.
I'm lying on the floor.
Oh, I have the wrong thing unmuted. This is what it sounds like if we were just plain Jane, like we're just gonna throw a delay on there.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
It doesn't fit right. And then we throw in everything that we've added.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober.
And you can take it further. You can EQ it even more, like maybe get some mud out, boost the top.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober. Memories from the night before.
There's all sorts of different things that you could do to like customize this stuff and make it sound not just like good, but sound really, really, really good. That's so really customizing your returns like that is so worth it. Let's listen to see what else can go. Let's scooch to the hook again, because we don't have any delay on the hook. So let's try putting it on the entire thing.
You need me. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day.
So the delay sounds horrible in the chorus. What's going on? Um, it's because so far what we have sidechaining that delay is only being sent out bus 19, and the only thing sending it out is the lead vocal right now. So if we want to have the delay also triggered off the chorus, we have to move this bus somewhere to the chorus. And typically you'd put it on just the main chorus bus. There's reasons for doing it otherwise, but that's going to be the main part. So now let's listen to the hook with the side chain being sent to the delay.
That you need me. Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please, please stay.
So it definitely fits better, but it still sounds weird. And you know, this may just be one of those where it doesn't need a delay. So I'm just gonna back it down minus 30 or so.
That you need me. Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please, please stay. 'Cause you're the only one who makes me feel this way.
Yeah, it sits better. I don't know if the part actually needs a bunch of delay. But if you guys notice, the compressor over here was just going, I mean, it was going crazy.
I'm lying on the floor.
And that's perfectly, for me, that's perfectly fine. Because I want to crank the delay, but have it to where you can't really hear it until they stop singing. It works great on rap music if you guys do rap music, which I think that's going to be the next thing we do whenever we really start talking about effects is going to be a rap song, because there's a bunch of cool effects in rap music, and you know, it sounds fun. Yeah, I guess let's kind of listen a little bit more.
I'm lying on the floor. Everything hurts when I'm sober. Memories from the night before. I thought we said this was over, but you keep coming back for more. And I'm the only one that you call when you're lonely. I know you're headed for the door, yeah, but you don't wanna leave me. Why would you leave me when I know that you need me? Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day. Please, please stay. 'Cause you're the only one who makes me feel this way. I'm lying in my bed. Everything hurts when it's over. Your words repeating in my head. I can't keep my composure. So why you wanna fight like this? When we both know we're addicted to each other. So what you waiting for? Yeah, I know you wanna come over. Baby, come over. You know this ain't over. Please, please stay. I had you for the night, but I want you for the day.
And then from here on, you know, basically, I would just keep doing the left to right thing, which is, you know, listen to everything, start comparing things, you know, compare the vocal to the instruments, compare the hook to the other instruments, compare effects to what has the effects on it. And you keep doing that, and you keep EQing, and you keep adjusting, and you just keep whittling it down until you get something that sounds really, really good. I mean, mixing is a total process. And then learning little things like the side chaining stuff, which we'll get into. We're going to keep using all of these tools. So it's a lot of comparing. It's a lot of going back and doing the same thing. It's a lot of long-term listening. But the more you guys do this, the more you guys start remembering the tools that are in your toolbox and which tool to whip out for what thing. Just the better you'll get, the more practice you'll have, and then things will start making sense more. Do you guys have any questions on this at all so far? I'll take that as a big no. So I think this is going to be it for today. I'm going to go ahead and upload. I'm going to start uploading y'all's videos today. So hopefully they should start posting around 5 or something like that. And I'll make an announcement for it. When we come back Wednesday, all we're doing is listening to projects. So if you haven't finished your project, finish it and attach an MP3 and email it to me. Send it to me on Canvas. If for whatever reason you can't get Canvas to work, send it to me to my regular email. That's fine too. I just want to make sure everybody has everything done for Wednesday. Because all we're doing Wednesday is we're going to listen to MP3s, and then we're going to do the roundabout sharing screen thing so we can kind of see what everybody did to it. Yeah, so I guess y'all can use the rest of the class, whatever, to work on project stuff, and I'll be available if y'all need help with anything, one-on-one help, or if you just want to send me stuff, because all I'm going to be doing is sitting here and uploading to YouTube. But yeah, if you guys don't have any questions, that's it for today. Just make sure you got your project ready for Wednesday. God, I was going to say next week. Anybody got anything?
Nope. Sounds good.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, I will see y'all Wednesday for Project Day. Yeah. All right, guys.
we'll see
I'll
ya.
talk to y'all
Yeah.
later.